We are at the -1 minute mark. So I'm just going to open up the Dingo file and kind of show you guys at the beginning of this live stream exactly how far we got last night after we finished live streaming. So I did what I said. I was going to change up the tubing in this buffer system right here, which I did. And then I finished up doing this front section here, like so, and have all of this going on right here. So as far as we got on doing the Dingo, but today we're going to start something new that I'm sure so very many of you have been wanting to see come out. So we are at positive time and we can officially start. Yeah. So I should probably send out a group chat. That would really help with everything. All right. So disclaimers before we begin actually building. We're just gonna sit here at this blank palette. AC is currently running, so you probably hear it in the background. Yeah, you can barely hear it, but it is still there. I might be interrupted sometime in like an hour or two to actually cook dinner, so that may happen sometime soon. So expect interruptions. The fan is going, but you shouldn't really be able to hear it. So yeah, that's it for disclaimers. But anyhow, today we are looking at doing this right here. This is something that I know almost all of you have been requesting that I do. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the Dingo. Don't worry, I will be doing the Dingo. I just don't feel like doing the Dingo right now. So we're going to go ahead and take a kind of try to do some of this. Kind of like maybe the lower receiver and stuff, but we will be doing this and we are going to try our hardest to make this a really good model. I don't know where to really begin, to be honest. I guess I should start with the grip because of just like what it is basically. So what I was planning on doing was using sideways building tactics or techniques or whatever you want to call them to make this. So if we do this, that gives us 4 studs worth of space and it's all flat like so. And then we can delete these 2 pieces for the hell of it and take these on down, and that's what will start the progress of building our KN-44. So yeah, taking a look at this, I'd venture to say that these only kind of go down by like 3 studs right through here. Hello, the Toasted Crumpet, I see you in chat. We're gonna take this and drop it down like so. And that will start right here where the trigger guard will come in to play. Then we need to do this area through here, which I don't really know how we're gonna do just yet. this back little bump right here that we have, I'm going to use cheese wedges for. Like so, basically. And then it's a straight curve coming downwards. It's not like I could use this and just like plop that in there, because that would not work. Uh, no, I didn't scrap the dingo. The dingo is currently this much done. Um, it's just it takes a lot of work to do the dingo, and I don't feel like doing work on the dingo right now, so I'm gonna kind of do both of these models at the same time for the most part, kind of work between them or do this one before going back to the dingo. And then we'll see where things kind of fall. The dingo is still here. I'm not done with the dingo. It's just I want to try something else before going back. So I was going to do it like this, but the problem is this area right here, because I want to get this detail in there. But I don't know how I'm going to get that detail in there. It is a fairly complex model, the dingo is. That's why I just don't want to kind of mess with it as of right now. Wow, that's a long time not to be here for a live stream. Glad you can finally make it though. Welcome to the stream. I think we're going to scrap this original design and we're going to go back to using a pretty standard method throughout the community in terms of grip design. We're going to use this method, but we're going to slim down through there, which I can't really do. I don't want these to stick up like they are, which means, where are you at? If I stick that there, delete that, delete that, should be able to stick that there, like so. That back in where it was. Delete that and that, and we're going to switch this to this piece basically. Delete both of these and switch these to these. Like so. And then we will put in a spacer right there. And we're going to save this as a new template because it's got a skinned down version to it. Thompson is taking so long to make. Sorry to hear that. I understand your pain though, because the dingo is taking forever to make as well, so I understand the whole thing's taking forever to make concept of Lego building. So we are going to do going to try to do the design back here. So let's say that that is part of the straight. And then we'll do this as like the curve coming up, like so. So we had a little bit of trouble with the stream going down right there. We're only 10 minutes in. So I don't know what's up with it deciding to just stop work, but it stopped working, which is really, really annoying. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. Anywho, back onto progress with this model. Going to make this grip that you see coming through here. Which should be somewhat easy to do. Somewhat easy because it's going to require me figuring out the correct measurements for these pieces again, which we should be able to do. Because we've done it before, so we should be able to do it again. So if just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. So I think we'll push these backwards. Like so. That's better. How was my day? My day was pretty relaxed compared to some of the other days that I've had going on lately. Um, I pretty much slept most of the day. I slept in until like 12-ish for the most part. Um, which is a long time, admittedly, but pretty well worth it. I've definitely needed the sleep, so yeah. Um, had to. I'm out of food. I really need to go get some food, some form of food, I should say. Um, so I had to go down to the Publix, and we picked up some buy one get one free taco packages and a Stouffer's party size lasagna. So one of those will be eaten tonight for dinner. Fingers crossed on the tacos, because that's what I wanted last night for dinner, and I didn't get it for some reason. I don't know why, I just didn't. So we'll be having that, and we'll be happier.
Did you start the lasagna?
No, we're having tacos.
Okay.
So this is the method that I want to use because this is working out really well. This is the definite angle that I want. And yeah, this is exactly how I want it. The main problem that I'm having is that uh, this has this weird property where it just doesn't like to kind of let this, it doesn't want this piece to go like right beside one another, which is really annoying because like if this works, then the other way around should work, but it doesn't, which is a giant pain in my ass because we all know in real life that this would work. Damn, dude, I'm sorry that you're almost mugged on a celebration day. That really sucks. Especially on a day that like finish everything. Supposed to be having a good day and then out of nowhere, someone tries to mug you and your friend. So I think what I'm gonna do is just throw this on down here. Set up um, everything that I need to set up. And then just kind of leave that space empty, maybe? Because we all know that this would go there, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave that space empty for now and continue on with how this was built. My day is definitely not as bad as yours. I'm glad you guys are okay. I'm glad you guys didn't get in trouble for the most part, though I don't think you would have because it probably was self-defense at that point if they jumped you. All right. We are getting closer and closer to finishing off the grip. So we're just gonna plop that down there. Wow, I didn't know the UK really worked like that. That's kind of saddening to be completely honest. That's messed up. I wish self-defense did count for something over there because that sucks ass. I'm not going to try to do the dark matter camo for Black Ops 3 guns until I get all the black market variants for one weapon, which we can talk about now, because I don't think you were in the other live stream when I talked about this, and I doubt people rewatched it. So we're gonna wait for this to load up. I want to save doing the dark matter camouflage until I get a dark matter variant of one of these weapons. So as you can see, for example, the KN-44, I have the FMJ variant and then the rapid fire variant unlocked as well, but I don't have um, all of them unlocked. And then this screenshot came from a friend of mine for the suppressor. I'm fairly close for the Shiva and the Man of War in terms of being done with attachments and stuff. So if I can finish off doing the Man of War attachments or the Shiva attachments, that's when I'll do a dark matter camouflage. But until then, you're not getting a dark matter camouflage out of me. The two variants that I'm currently doing in terms of weapon attachments and things like that is we have the normal variant and then we have the God mode variant. The God mode variant is a gold camouflage with all the normal attachments on it. The dark matter variant that I'm going to do is going to be the weapon with all the attachments on it from the black market and then the dark matter camouflage. But I have to wait until I get all the attachments for those weapons and stuff, and that probably won't happen anytime soon because the game's being kind of a troll right now and won't give me attachments when I kind of really need them. So until then, there will not be any dark matter camouflage from me. So yeah, this little thing right here is going to be kind of hard to do. What I'm thinking of doing is just fairly simple. We're just going to take this and do that, and we should have like 4 studs worth of space. Yep, perfect. Excuse me, sorry about that. It's the cinnamon bun that I had today, and then some Arizona iced tea, or not iced tea, Arizona strawberry lemonade, which is fairly good stuff. It's not the best, but it's not exactly the worst either, so fairly happy with it. Fairly happy with that as well. I don't mind this happening here. Actually, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. My luck with the black market lately has been fairly good. Just yesterday, I opened up a supply drop using crypto keys. I don't buy them. And I got the baseball bat in one supply drop, and then the next supply drop right after opening up the baseball bat one, I got that new pump action energy shotgun. And it literally only took me the whole day yesterday to get it to dark matter. So it's already done. Like I'm over with. It was super, super simple to get done. So yeah, I'm doing fairly well in terms of getting drops from the black market and stuff. So yeah. Drank some bleach today, huh? I really, really want the Coda attachments the most. That's what I've been looking for, just the absolute most. I keep asking like all my friends who play if they have any, and of course, like none of them do, which really sucks because that's slowing down progress. And I just heard someone walk through the door, and I don't know who it is. I think it might be my aunt and her daughter, but I have no idea. Anywho, I love the sound effects of the MVP. I haven't gone to use it yet because the only melee weapons that I have to dark matter right now are the combat knife, which is the basic knife, and uh, the sword. And those are the only two that I've really even wanted to even try to get to dark matter. So those are the only two that I have to dark matter. Um, I'm trying to get the carver to dark matter because that's the next knife that I have. But at the same time, I still have the wrench to do, the baseball bats, and the axe to do as well. Damn, the shotgun and the rift in one supply drop? It's pretty legit. Probably should get a lottery ticket. He'd win like instantly. This grip is coming out a little long for my tastes. We need to shorten it down. Um, you might also be able to hear the rain hitting the roof. Not really sure. Your friend must be real lucky. Probably fly here to Vegas and go play it big in some of the casinos so that he can make tons and tons of money. So just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Keep the grip from getting too long. Because this area up here is already long enough as is. Hey man, if he's paying, they should let him play. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I really don't know how without making it look too big. You might have also just heard the lightning go off in the background. To be completely honest, I might just kind of put this through here, like so, and then just kind of leave it like that, to be completely honest. I don't know what's up with Black Ops 3 with the whole not adding the ballistic knife or the crossbow or the riot shield in the base game. We got the crossbow, but now it's a supply drop weapon, which is stupid. Um, because now we can't have a Sticks and Stones playlist, which is like one of the best playlists ever in the history of Call of Duty. Which really sucks. It's one of my favorites from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. Be completely honest, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. I'm just going to leave it like that. In terms of grip design, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I've seen other people do it the way that I wanted to do it originally. I think that's something that we'll play with after kind of building up the rest of the model. We'll see. For now, I believe that's the design that we're going to go with. I don't remember High Roller. Which one was High Roller? Alright, so this is about to get kind of complicated sometime soon. That is in fact my aunt out there. I just heard her speak clearly. So we're gonna slim on down to 2 studs for this trigger guard design. Okay, I see. So it's kind of like the wager matches, except with party games. That makes more sense. Alright, time to do one of the world's hardest trigger guards. And instead of using the normal clip pieces, I want to use these pieces. Why? Because I can. These pieces just have a cleaner look to them whenever you finish the actual model itself. For the most part, I'm gonna kind of have to delete these and stuff them in here. Yeah. So true. But it was some of the most fun that I've ever had on Call of Duty was playing mostly the party games because it was just super fun to like watch people rage quit all the time. Like you'd go around and you'd like knife them and they get humiliated, or you'd throw a tomahawk or something, and then they'd rage quit because you did that to them, and they're like, "Screw you, get a life. Your mom doesn't love you. You're adopted." Things like that. It's pretty great. So Yeah, that is a fairly good trigger guard that we have going on there. The next thing that we have to do is this right there, which I am not looking forward to because it's going to require me to do some things that I really don't want to do. I want to do a 3-stud wide magwell. In order to do a 3-stud wide magwell, I have to change up the side panels to be 5 studs wide. Which I don't want to do because it's not going to be easy nor fun. Yeah. A lot of kids just rage all the time in Call of Duty. It's pretty funny, to be honest. Basically, how I'm planning on doing this is a fairly complex method of I don't know and how the fuck am I doing this? Very, very hard thing to do. It takes a lot of experience and know how to do both of those methods, but should pay off with extreme certainty that it will in fact pay off with a good looking gun. Played a lot of Black Ops 2 Sticks and Stones. It was in fact really, really good. So this is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while in terms of design. These are 12s, so I'm going to drop these down to being 10s. I have CUDA flashbacks all the time because it's one of those things where it's just like if it's not as good as the CUDA, it's not good at all. And this is kind of the Dingo and this are kind of the next CUDA models that I'm trying to make basically. I'm trying to make like the best Black Ops 3 models I possibly can for all of YouTube. And it's kind of hard, but I think for the most part we can get through doing most of them, if not all of them. Who knows? Um, yeah. So the design idea was to do something like this, but I don't think that is going to necessarily work out. So what I think I'll do, because this trigger guard angle continues upwards into here. So that's what I want going on there. And then it slopes upwards. So I think we'll go with this right here. Take a two. How do I do the AK-47 magazine release without it being sturdy? Uh, the best way I can explain it is you double stuff it like a double stuffed Oreo. If that makes any sense, it probably doesn't because people might just not understand the terminology I just used there. Trying to think of how to necessarily explain this without making you lose your mind. We'll talk about it when I get there because the magazine release is going to be on this model. I just got to figure out how I'm going to put it in there and where it goes and all sorts of different things like that. It's probably going to go between these two things, so probably right about here. We might as well do it now. We'll just do it now, and then we can talk about it. So first things first, you're going to put down this piece here and this piece here. You're going to put down a 3, and then we're going to put down a 2. And that seems good enough to me. Did not mean to do that. It's going to go back that far. I should be able to pull it back like so. It's good. And then we're going to put 3 there, flip it around, put a 3 going through this direction. Of course, this 2 is not going to go where I want it to go. So I put that back to being straight. That's really dumb. LDD, get your shit together. Fuck it, we'll leave it straight for now. Let's color this a different color so I know what it looks like, where it's at. And then I should be able to that a so it was okay, so back out. So you can see there's a point of contact down here, and then there's going to be another point of contact somewhere up here between this brick and this brick up here, and then it kind of double stuffs it like a double stuffed Oreo, because there's a plate on top of it that's holding down, and then there's a plate underneath it that's holding down as well. The other thing that you might want to consider is your rubber band might be too strong for what you're trying to use it for, because you don't need too big of a rubber band, to be completely honest. When it comes to things like this, you might want to lower the amount of tension between you and your magazine release if you're having that much problems with things breaking. Because even like a really weak rubber band should get the job done fairly well. Yeah. So put that there. Might really be able to hear the thunder rolling in now. plan on doing is giving a spot for the rubber band to hook around for the magazine release. Right there, kind of recessed in. It's not too much recessed in. I should be able to get a tad bit more recessed in if I use that. Yep, that's a lot less noticeable, to be honest. Which I'm definitely happier about. I'm going to put that like that. For those of you who are wondering how this trigger guard is going to work, basically, it's basically going to work because this rubber band is going to loop from here underneath this trigger guard. There's going to be two rubber bands, essentially. There's going to be one underneath this and here, and there's going to be one for the mag release in here. And that's how that's going to work. So, yeah. Science, I guess? Like, I don't really know what you guys would call that. I keep messing with how this looks because I don't necessarily think that that's the best way for it to look. Kind of like doing that. Maybe keeping with something along those lines. If not doing two of these, which are a sharper angle. I think we'll keep the two long ones. Going up like so. And then the cool thing that we can do because of this design is if we space these out by 2, and then grab this piece here, space those out by 2, space those by 2, damn it. Like so. What are these? These are 16s. We're going to actually drop these down to being 14s and pull them up by 1. An 8-stud Magwell, yeah, cannot talk for some reason. 8-stud wide Magwell is what we're going for, so that's good. This ends basically exactly where I want it to. Going to close off the front of this. And then we have 8 studs worth of room to use for our magazine, which is awesome. Slide these on in here. And then of course we need a trigger. going to be kind of the same design that I did for the Dingo. Works just like that. Now then we gotta add a trigger stop in place that will prevent this from moving too far forward. Which will probably involve using one of these. That's as far forward as it will go. And you can pull the trigger freely. How rubber band is going to work. It's fairly simple because it's going to wrap up between here and over top of this and hook on right here. So I gotta leave this area slightly hollow. We'll be all good with that. Alrighty then, I'm gonna color this proper colors. I think that will do it for now. Because I'm probably gonna have to go cook dinner soon. So because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and just end the stream here. And hopefully sometime soon I will come back and we will continue work on this as we go on, basically. Just kind of coming through and coloring this its proper colors. Make sure you can't see any red through it. We're pretty good for the most part. And then the lower receiver itself is going to be it's a gunmetal gray, borderline black, and that's the closest color that I can get to be completely honest. So that's what we're gonna go with. And yeah, so that is the lower receiver done and out of the way. We will probably do this on later, so yeah, that's it for now. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. See you guys later in another live stream or video soon.